Hey golfers, Dean with golfallyear.com, and today I'm in virtual reality again, and I'm taking a look at the Oculus Quest, the update to the Golf 5 eClub app that they have done. And this is on the Oculus Quest 2. I did a full review on this game down a while back. I'll put the link down below so you can take a look at that review. But they did an update to try to improve their game, and I really am excited to take a look. I'm so glad that they actually listened to some of the comments that were made, and they were trying to really update their game to make it one of the better golf games on the market. And so this is my honest review. I'm not getting sponsored by anybody, so take it for what it is. I am an average golfer. I'm about an 8 or 9 handicap, and I also coach golf. So some of these things I'll be looking at are kind of my opinion on this update. And so the first thing, they updated a couple of different things. They decided that they were going to update and add a 9-hole golf course to their game. And so you have a new 9-hole course called the Forest Golf Course, which I'll talk about here in a minute. They also decided to add some stats to the game. And so we'll take a look at that. They improved the physics. They said they improved the physics on some of the things. And one of the big things that I commented on was before you would hit into the rough and it would cost you a penalty. So it was everything outside the fairway was a penalty stroke. It was very tight and it would really kind of frustrate you because you're taking penalty strokes for just being off the fairway a little bit. So they did improve that. They changed that to a rough. So now you can hit out of the rough. And they also improved some of their physics, supposedly. So let's take a look at some of those improvements. The other thing that they improved was the statistics, and they give you a ton of statistics. And as I'll talk in the next little clip, I think that sometimes you can go overboard on your stats. I think as the average golfer, I think you need to limit your stats. I think the Oculus is only going to be able to track the club. It's not going to be able to track the ball. So some of those statistics with the ball, as I'll show you, just don't work. So I love that they added the stats, but I think they went too far with the amount of stats that they're giving you. And then the other thing that they did improve, that they said they improved, was the physics. I didn't find that. I found that my longer irons and my driver would be really low trajectory and would roll out forever. And I still find that on the game. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I need to adjust a setting or something to be able to see the better physics. I also found that again, your wedges and things, the trajectory is so high, it's unrealistic for many shots. I know that I hit. Maybe being able to adjust the trajectory might be a better deal there. So I didn't find the physics to be as impressive. So let's take a look. First of all, let's take a look at the stats, and then I'll show you some videos of the actual course. And you let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let me know what you think about the new updates to the E5 Golf Club. All right, golfers. So one of the other things that I wanted to look at with the Golf 5 eClub update is that they are adding in some statistics for your swing, and I think that's great. Golf simulators are really big on giving you your data, and so this is pretty cool. It's the extra tracking information, and so they actually, after your shots on a round of golf, I don't think they have it on the practice range, which was kind of frustrating. I think they probably need to add that to the practice range. But what I found is that when you're hitting shots, they will give you your stats for your shots. And I think that's very helpful. And so you can see all the different stats that they're giving you. They're giving your swing, your launch, your flight and roll. And so they have put together a lot of different stats that are to tell you, what you did on your swing. I think that for the average golfer, this is too many stats. I don't think that the average golfer really needs, and the golfers that are probably using the Oculus to play golf probably not looking for their stats, all these intricate stats. I think there are some that are very important. Total distance and carry distance, I think, are very important. Club speed is very important. I think your smash factor, club speed and ball speed and smash factor are very important. Face to path, that's how I, use my OptiShot. I'm big on using the OptiShot to improve, and that's really helped me. And, face to path is very important, in terms of your club face and your swing angle. I'd like to see some of that stuff. But I do have a couple of issues with some of these stats. I'm just not sure that with the Oculus and how you are swinging when you set your ball down and you swing with the Oculus, I'm not sure how it tracks the ball. I could see how it would track the club face. And so I'm not sure how they're getting the ball speed. I think they're just guessing on your ball speed. And so that affects a lot of these other ones, dynamic loft and some of the other ones that have to do with the ball spin axis and spin rate of the ball and things like that. I think that they're going to just be guessing at those. Also the smash factor, and the reason I say that is because the Oculus is not going to be able to know what the ball is doing. It can know where your club is in your swing, but it doesn't really know what the ball is doing. It's a calculation like the OptiShot and some of the other club tracking simulators. And so what I noticed is when I hit my driver, my ball speed tended to be right at the 150% with the smash factor. And that's kind of a perfect smash factor, to be honest. That's what you're striving for, because what it is you're basically dividing the two numbers, the club's head speed into the ball speed, and that's going to give you your smash factor. And so the issue is that every time I'd hit my driver, it would be 150 to 149, when in reality, my driver is usually, because I do have a swing caddy launch monitor, my driver is usually around 140, 145 if I'm hitting really well. And so I don't know if that ball speed is correct. When I was hitting other clubs, it was lower. But it really, I don't think that they're truly measuring the smash factor, and that, that kind of defeats the purpose of some of these. If, I was to revamp this, I would keep it to just things that you can track with the club and leave it there. One thing that I have found with these stats and with hitting on the course is that the roll of the ball is way too much. So let me just give you an example of this. I'm going to hit a 3-iron, okay, and normally I'll hit my 3-iron. It will carry. Actually, let's do this. I know exactly how much my carry is for my 7-iron. My 7-iron carries about 135 to 140 yards. And so watch the roll on this as I hit this. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so I hit it pretty good. The roll, I hit it 140 and it rolls out. It rolled out, what, 30 extra yards on that with a 7-iron. Now let's try the 3-iron. Now watch what happens with the 3-iron. Okay. Very low shot. Now watch the roll I get. Look at this. So carry distance of 133 and a total distance of 216 yards. The driver is even worse on this. If you hit a driver, let's hit a driver. Oh, that's going to be in the bunker. Nope, that didn't go. Hit into the trap, so that's kind of cool that it did stop in the trap. Let's try that one more time here. Another. Okay, hit pretty good. Let's see, 177 carry. Let's see what kind of roll I get on that. Okay, I rarely hit the ball 255. I got 255, so again, you're talking 80 yards of roll on that shot. So I just don't know if how accurate that stuff is in terms of some of the roll on shots that you get. But other than that, the stats, I really do like the idea. That's the club speed is pretty close to what I would be in terms of my excuse me, in terms of my driver. But again, you see the smash factor is 149. I didn't hit it that good. If one, that would mean in the center of the club, pretty close to perfect. And I've never got below 149 with the smash factor. So that's an interesting one. But I do love all these stats if you can get it where maybe you shorten them up. And I know you can show less stats. This is going to show your ball speed, your apex, carry distance, and total distance. I don't know if that's enough. I like more data than that. I like to be able to see, I love this where you can see kind of your swing. Looking at it, you can see your swing path and you can see your club face. So my club face is kind of like that on that. But other than that, I think that there's some work to be done. I love to be able to adjust my club head speed because what I would do is I would obviously lessen my club head speed maybe to 85% to try to get realistic shots out of it. Considering that these are, that's a long ways for a lot of the average golfer. Now, a lot of golfers can hit a lot further than 90, so I shouldn't necessarily, but, consistently hitting 280 here for your driver. Few people can do that and keep it in the fairway. So anyway, one of the improvements that they did is they added a 9-hole course, which I think is great. They have the Dunes course, and now they have the Forest course. It's only a 9-hole course. And what I found, and I'll show you some videos of it here in a minute, but what I found is it's extremely long. The par threes are 235 plus yards. So, that is, the pros don't even have par threes that are that far. And to be able to land, most average golfers are going to be hitting a driver, unless you obviously up the power on your shot, which I think they do. But you are not going to be able to hit the green on those par threes. It's a long course. It's pretty straight. There's not many dog legs. There's not a lot of hazards. So it's pretty basic, straight, and long is what I found. So take that for what it is. It's an addition, 9-hole course, which is great. I think they could have done a little bit and been a little bit more creative and not made it so difficult, because it is a very difficult course when it's that long on your par threes, because that's where you got to be able to score on some of the par threes. Hi, golfers. So there you have the Golf 5 eClub updates. I really love that they're trying to update and improve their game. Many of the apps on the Oculus store, they're there and they don't do many improvements. The games that are really successful do improvements and really try to get in there and make their game the best and most realistic as possible, especially in a golf game. And so hopefully they can get some golfers in there that can really give them some feedback and let them know, what to improve and how to improve. I think the biggest improvement was getting rid of the penalty stroke for hitting it into the rough, and making that into an actual rough that you can hit out of. I think that's a huge improvement. I think giving some stats is a great improvement. I was disappointed that you couldn't do it on the range, which I think is the most important thing. If you want to practice, you want to get your stats on the range. So maybe add that in, but to improve that, maybe trim it down so that you can pick out the ones that track the club and really focus on those. But other than that, adding those stats was great. Adding another 9-hole course, I think you just need to tailor it back to more the average golfer and the average golf course, so that you can have some success and really make it more realistic. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button. Doing videos like this all the time. I'm going to be comparing some of the golf apps in the Oculus Quest, so you won't want to miss that. Let's keep getting better at golf.